All right, great Friday morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. So that's on my quarter journey with manufactured home sales mastery, and with our 15 minutes of mastery that we do each and every day to get your day started off with the right foot with some information, inspiration, motivation, so that you can go out and do the best you can today. And listen, back home, back at the home office today, Friday. Get you some things lined up. Got MHI winter meetings here in San Antonio. I'm excited about that early next week. If you're going to be in town, let me know. Would be more than happy to meet you. We have not met before, and just talk, see how things are coming along. But anyway, listen, today we're talking about winning big. We're talking about why your team deserves to win big. And so I'm reaching out to all leaders out there this morning. Want to talk about why your team deserves to win big and the role that you play in that, right? Jocko Willink writes, after all, there can be no leadership where there is no team. There can be no leadership where there is no team. So we know that every company, every business in the manufactured home sales world, whether you're in the community space, you're a retailer, you've got a sales team. It may be one person. You may be the team. I don't know. But usually got a team, 2, 3, 5, 8 sales consultants, just depends on what you've got going on, right? But here is what I want to talk to you about. Every single one of those people on your team, and not just on the sales team, but everyone in the office, admin, accounting, marketing, whatever you've got, they all deserve to win big. And you know that we're all about sales here. So I'm going to talk to you about you as a leader. I'm going to talk to you and what your role is in all of this, because in sales, we know that the office vibe has to be something that is on point. A few years back, I'm going to say it was probably, 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, I was still over at Titan Factory Direct. I was general manager. We had a meeting. They took us to go spend a couple of days with Tony Geary up in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Okay, it's great leadership training that we went through, and Tony has this book. We had the manuscript at that point for a book that he wrote called Vibe, and the vibe of the office is so very important. The feel of that office is so very important. And as I travel across the country and I go meet with all these different teams now, and I can walk into an office and I can feel what that office is like. It's crazy. It's, you get to some places and it's just full of energy. It's exciting. Everyone, you can tell, likes to have a good time. And then you get to some where you could cut the tension with a knife. You get to some where it's very just almost too laid back, feels lazy to a certain extent. And so that is all created through the team. That's all created through the atmosphere of the people that are there. But it starts with the leader. And in that book, Extreme Ownership from Jocko Willink, Jocko goes into complete detail as far as how you as a leader, myself included as a leader now with my team here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, but you as a leader, you're responsible for everything that goes on at your office, good and bad. If the team is doing great, the team is doing fantastic, your store is doing huge numbers, congratulations, you're doing a great job. It's you. Even though the team is the one selling, even though the admin team is the one handling all the paperwork, even though marketing is doing what they're doing, it's all you, because you're coordinating and you're running this office in a manner that is producing the results that it should be producing, and hopefully everybody on your team is excited and they're having a great time. Now, that is few and far between. Most places have their issues. Most places aren't hitting the numbers that they want to be hitting. Most places have some sort of struggle, whether it's in marketing or maybe it's overall in sales. Maybe it has to do with on the back end of things. Who knows? But when you have that type of situation, it's also your responsibility to fix it. It's your responsibility as a leader. And I tell everybody, everyone is a leader, right? Every individual, we want to consider them as adults. And sometimes we may tell ourselves, I had a general manager recently tell me, well, they're adults. They should be doing it on their own. You're right. They should be. But it doesn't happen a lot of times. You as a leader have to build that culture. You have to set the correct expectations. You have to manage on accountability. You have to inspire. You have to lead. You have to strengthen. You have to build up. You're that person, man, that has to keep rising the tide. And I know it gets tiring. I know that sometimes you're just not up to it. I get it 100%. But as another friend of mine told me probably 20 years ago, it's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're tired. Nobody cares if you don't feel up to it. Nobody cares that you're sick. Nobody cares that something happened in your life. Nobody cares. You've got to go and do what you've got to do. And it's not about ruling with an iron fist. It's about setting the right expectations and making sure that everyone is on the same page, but that everyone also understands that you have their back. Everyone understands that you're going to be the first one to run to the fire. They understand that when times get rough, you're not going to panic. You're not going to go and just go to the extreme and possibly rip everyone's head off. Although every once in a while that may be necessary, right? But hardly ever. You as a leader have to be the person who steadies the ship when the waters are choppy. You as a leader have to be the one that propels the ship forward when it feels like it's getting stagnant. You as a leader have to be the one that is mending that hole in the boat that is letting water in when there's a problem. And when you can do those things, you're going to have this team that's just going to operate in a way as adults, right? They're going to come in ready to attack today. They're going to come in and they know exactly what has to be done. You're going to have a team that, man, we have our trainings at this time and we do this at this, and they're on it. They're on it. They're going, they're moving forward. Sometimes they have bad days. They've got things going on as well. And you've got to work with those things also. But you as a leader are responsible for building that team. And so as we go on in these things, in extreme ownership, like I said, the book continues on in saying that no matter what happens, you are responsible. And that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes, a lot of times, right? It's a tough pill to swallow because we want to say, well, certain things are out of my control. And in reality, when it comes to business, I'll tell you, the tough part about it is it's really not. Now, you can't control whether the customer makes the decision you want them to make, but within your domain, within your office, within your organization, everything is within your control. In other words, bills didn't get paid on time. You weren't making sure that was happening. Maybe your AP person needs some training on some things that you have not taken care of yet. Sales team isn't making the calls that they should be making. Well, that's on you, because maybe there's not the right expectations in writing. Maybe the accountability is not there. Maybe you're just not inspiring them to get that done. Or if you've done all those things and you've coached people up the right way and you've provided the right training and the right things needed to be able to accomplish what they need to be doing, what you're saying they should be doing, then maybe it's time to move on from that person. And that's also your responsibility. It's the worst one to have to make. I always, when letting people go was not something that I enjoyed doing. Not because I was scared of it, but just because really it was more of a personal thing in the sense of I knew what this industry had done for me and my family, and I knew what it could do for everyone that would be a part of the team. And when I saw somebody that didn't make the most of the opportunity, and it got to the point where I had to let them go, it bothered me because it was like they didn't know what they didn't know. They didn't know what they were passing up on by choosing not to just run with what works. So, with all that being said, you as a leader need to be the one who's taking it. And so why how are we correlating all of that to why your team deserves to win, right? Well, they deserve to win because there's so much opportunity out there, and they should be winning, and they deserve to be winning, and they deserve to be doing great things, and they deserve to be doing big things, they deserve to be doing big numbers, and so on and so on. But they're only going to get there if they have the right leader. With our company coming up, yes, it was me, one person. Probably I say probably the first over a year. It's just me by myself. Year and a half, no year, and then from then start adding somebody here and there, handle some things. Now we have a solid core that we're working with, four of us, and it's on me to not only make sure that things are getting done that should be getting done, but it's on me to make sure that my team is being inspired. It's on me to make sure that my team is growing. It's on me to make sure that they understand how the business works. It's on me to make sure that they have the things that they need in order to be able to do whatever has to be done. Now, do I sometimes drop the ball? Yes, a lot, because I'm still handling a lot of things, but I am, that's why it's so important for me to get things done quickly, right then and there, because it may slip through the cracks right now. Not with our clients, but within ourselves. And so I still have work to do, but they deserve to win big. The whole team deserves to win big, and so does yours. That's why I can appreciate all the movement and shaking that's going on right now since the inauguration. Feel what you may feel. It's all that fast pace of moving and decisions and actions that are being taken. It's to go get things done. And so let's talk about how you as a leader can make sure that your team actually wins big. And we're going to bring this all the way around as far as why your team deserves to win big. Okay. First and foremost, look, you have to set the tone with the right attitude. What is your attitude like? What is your attitude when you come into the office? What is your attitude maybe when you're not at the office, but you're speaking to people on your team? You set the tone with your attitude. So before you go judging other people's attitude, you need to check yours first. What is yours like? What is your energy like? Are you a person who creates that energy, that buzz within the office, or not? The next thing you need to do is always improve and build your team's mindset. You need to make sure that they understand where they need to be at up here. You got somebody who's always thinking negatively. You got somebody who's always feeling like something's not right. You got to work on their mindset. You got to help them get better. You got to always improve and build their mindset. The next thing is you have to identify and strengthen your team's weaknesses, including yours, starting with yours. But you need to identify what is the weakness of this individual. You need to work with that person to build them up. You need to work with that person to strengthen those weaknesses so they can move forward and continue to grow and start getting those regular wins, right? And when there is adversity, you have to respond with a positive attitude. Not that there's not a problem, but in other words, look, here's where we're at. We're going to get through it. We're going to fix it. But what caused it so we don't have to experience this again? I can almost guarantee that's something that is missed a lot of times. Sometimes there's a problem within the location, within the store, or within the community, and it's yelling and screaming and blaming and pointing fingers and how could you do this and whatnot. You got to address it with the right attitude, and you got to learn from it and make the changes so it doesn't happen again. And lastly, your team deserves to win if and only if you deserve to win. So do you deserve to win with your performance? Are you putting in the performance as a leader that deserves winning in your own life and business and financially and emotionally and everything that goes along with it? Because if you are, then they do. If you're not, if you don't deserve to win, unfortunately, they're not going to win. So if your team is not winning, it's on you. And the great thing about it is you can change it. You can fix it. You could start right now. You just got to look at that person in the mirror and accept the fact that you're lacking in some things. And I don't tell you that in a negative way. Look, we all are, but we have to be aware of it, and we have to be willing to accept it before we can move on and actually fix it, so that then our team can go out and do great things. So, ladies and gentlemen, this Friday, I encourage you, especially those of you in leadership, to think about it. With your performance every single day, with your attitude, the vibe you bring, the tone you set, the way you grow and build your team, do you deserve to win? If so, then you should be. If you're not winning, if your team's not winning, it's because you need to get some things fixed. But you can get them fixed. So go out and do that. If there's a way that we can help you here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, we're here to do that. We appreciate all of you for being with us as we continue to grow, man. It's the momentum we have been building over the last few months, and especially over the last 2 to 3 weeks, has been insane. It's amazing. It's full of energy. We're excited about it. And what's happening here in the very near future, we're just, man, I can't contain myself. I'm so appreciative. I thank God every single day. Even when times are tough, it's just continuing to make us better. But there are some great things happening. I hope there's great things happening for you in your life and your business, because you deserve it, as long as you're doing the things that are required of you. Go out and have a great Friday. We'll be talking again soon, back in tomorrow, with the Selling Saturday edition of 15 Minutes to Mastery. And remember, if you're going to be in San Antonio for the winter meetings, the MHI winter meetings next week, Monday through Wednesday, reach out to me. I'd love to meet you. Love to sit down and just chat. We're going to be doing some Manufactured Live episodes there as well. So stay tuned for those things, man. We'll be talking very soon. Until then, my friends, as always, I can't wait to meet you.